Hello everyone, Medieval Family for 7 here, and happy Halloween month everybody. Uh, what better time to play the original Medieval than October? Its initial time of release, and just the fact that it's a very Halloween time game. Medieval 1 specifically, I always get in the mood to play the original Medieval when about Halloween. Medieval 2, for some reason, I'm always in the mood to play that during the summer. And Medieval Resurrection, I'm always in the mood to play that this time of year as well, because I remember I got it for my birthday, which is in November. But yes, today we are playing the OG classic Medieval. Prior to the remake, I think I might still do walkthroughs of the remake this month. And yeah, this is a re-walkthrough. I've already walked through this on the channel before. Last time I did it was a live stream, and I did a walkthroughs of it like years ago. But this is me actually doing a walkthrough of it again, without like on the chat, just playing it for fun, a nostalgia feel. It's funny because I got this after I got Medieval 2. I was so young that I don't even remember getting Medieval 2. My sister does. But I remember getting Medieval 1. I can't remember why I was staying at my grandma's or how long I was staying at my grandma's, but I remember I was really young and I was staying there with my sister, and my mum was away on holiday with my dad in Edinburgh when they were still together. But my mum came home with a pick and mix for me and my sister, and also Medieval 1. It was second hand as well, I think. But that's when we started with Medieval 1. I remember I have a funny memory at my grandma's house one time playing this in her kitchen. I can't remember if this was when my granddad was alive, or it might have been after he died. I think it might have been when he was still alive. But I remember when I was in the kitchen playing it, I remember I was crying when on the Asylum Grounds level, because I was like, I just finally want to know what it's like to get past this riddle, because like the clown riddle, I was stuck on that for years, I kid you not. I get through the game perfectly fine now, it's like the back of my hand now, but I remember I just could not complete Asylum Grounds as a kid. For that reason I never discovered it inside the Asylum's level, didn't know you could get a gem from in there, I didn't know what the gem was for that we got from the Pumpkin Witch, and it didn't even dawn on me that there was a dragon boss in the Crystal Caves as a kid. But yeah, there is. But I only had one dragon gem, and I actually never knew what it did when I was younger. When I say younger, I mean like a lot younger when I first got the game. And then when we'd go to the Gal's Gauntlet, my mum and always tried it. It's actually, I've got a lot of memories playing the medieval games with my mum. Like often whenever I was talking levels, like me and Andy being my sister, we'd hand the controller to my mama, and she would try and play it for us. She actually got us past a few levels, but like Gal's Gauntlet, there was loads of things that she would like try and hit, like, you know, things that looked like it could be a lever on a wall or something like that, thinking like, why the hell can we not find a way out here? And every time we like leave through that other exit, we'd be like, why did it not put us to the next level yet? But it's basically, you know, the alternative exit to go through if you don't have, you know, the dragon armor before that point. But we tried to like figure out ways to get through the dragon armor gate, and we just could not figure it out. But it's just funny to, like, when we were younger, like the mysteries behind the game that are just so simple now to us. But we had cheat codes from a friend of ours called well, actually, doesn't remember what his name was, but our friend gave us cheat codes from Medieval 2 when we were younger, but we never got cheats from Medieval 1 until a friend of our dad's, who was a bit of a gamer. I don't know if he still talks to him now, but yeah, he had medieval cheat codes, and it felt so surreal to play levels like Haunted Ruins and that, because for years of having the game medieval, I never got past the Gal's Gauntlet, and it was so weird playing levels like, you know, the Haunted Ruins, the Ghost Ship, and the Zarek's Lair, and the Time Device. But let's just jump in to good old Nostalgia Station. For me, I have a lot more memories with Medieval 2, but look, those are my main ones, Medieval 1. One of the things I do remember about Medieval 1 is when I was playing on my PS2, I couldn't play past the Hilltop Mausoleum unless I had a memory card that went past that point. So I remember for years all I could play was up to the Hilltop Mausoleum until I eventually got a new PS1. And I remember mine was broken for years, but then my stepdad had one, so I got one from him. But yeah, that was an issue. I think it's only an issue with the PAL disc, where it has issues loading the Hilltop Mausoleum on PS2s or on emulators. Although I do have a patch in this one that will allow me to run the PAL version. But yeah, let's just start the game now. I'll just shut up while all the intro cutscenes play. But you'll notice if you've only ever played the Medieval Remake, you'll notice that there's definitely a much more gothic, dark undertone to this game, which I think just sets the tone perfectly for Halloween. It's definitely a lot darker than Resurrection as well. But I just love the music and the overall atmosphere of this game for the time of year. Better assign audio. There we are. Sorry if you didn't hear the PlayStation boot up audio there. I hadn't assigned where the audio directory was for a moment there. Sonic Pure Entertainment presents. An element of that tune is actually in the Graveyard soundtrack from Resurrection, I noticed. Also, doesn't Zarek just look so spooky there? In Resurrection, he looked good, but he didn't look creepy. And I don't think in the remake it really got creepy, but Sound of the PS1 just looked downright creepy. And I love the narrator's voice here as well.
A sorcerer named Zarok. This arrogant, pitiless man hated his fellow citizens for their simple and peaceful ways. So he raised an army of demons and set out to take the realm for his own. The king's champion, Sir Daniel Fortescue, led the militia into battle against this unholy horde. Songs are still sung of how he spearheaded the charge deep into the accursed multitude, how demons fell before him like wheat before the scythe. And at last, though mortally wounded, he destroyed the sorcerer utterly. Fortescue went down in history that day as the hero of Gallowmere, and a time of peace began, which was to last for 100 years. And then the sorcerer returned.
Coming back after 100 years, he must be ancient. It's weird because it sounds like he says more than that, but it's only like a screen's full worth of dialogue that. But yeah, basically the history of Dan is he was a bit of a loser, as we find out in I think it's Fate's Arrow, the comic strip. But we also find out a bit about it through books and that, and through the Gargoyles, and the hero's basically saying how we're a fraud. Like, we're not a true hero, we died at the first charge, but went down in history as the hero Gallowmere. Yeah, I just find this entire cutscene a lot more eerie than the remakes went for. I think the original MediEvil is definitely it's definitely spookier. But MediEvil 2, it deserves a remake already. I don't know why we've gone so long without getting one. That classic MediEvil bell sound effect. There's a sleeping village. aka Gallows Town. I love the music during this cutscene. MediEvil Resurrection, they made the villagers there look so goofy. But I thought they looked downright spooky when I was younger. Although I used to always laugh at the ladies going la 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 la. But I don't know why I always thought Nellie Mad's eyes looked like lollipops. Did it not remind you of Sweeties? Her eyes. In Resurrection, it's like la 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 la. But there's something about the girls in this that they sound like that they're in, like they're feeling terrified, but it's almost like they're not control over their actions. They're like they almost like sound scared. It just everything about that cutscene is just a lot more creepy. Like even the remake doesn't really make it feel creepy. But we've got the classic spider and the web intro. We would get that in MediEvil 2. It's gonna pop open my can of Pepsi and let's do this. Yes, pumpkins. Perfect for Halloween. He wears, I think his statue does wear a helmet as well on the Japanese version as well, which I actually do own. It was very hard to get a hold of, but there was a copy of it on eBay that I managed to actually get a hold of. But yeah, let's jump into their first level, Dan's Crypt. We'll just listen to our, well, we'll just watch our cutscene first, and we'll listen to the gargoyles. And you can see Zarek's green ether that he's leaving behind. That's always like a sign of when you're at the end of a level, because the exit level always has that green ether around it. Zarek so stupidly brought us back from the dead as well. That was his fatal mistake. That's Zarek's army of those skinny bitches. And those bigger guys in the armor's gonna be our army. Who we seem to kill both ancient dead, because we got those big chunky ones, and then the skinny ones as well. Yes, wiki wiki, Sir Knight. Yeah, I played the PS4 and 5 port of Resurrection recently, got both their platinums. I'm actually excited to see that I got a port to PS5 and PS4. Here are we, the OG gargoyles.
It has risen again. Sir Daniel Fortescue, see? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge. The fog of war and the shrouds of time conspire to turn the arrow fodder into the saviour of the day. But we knows better.
Yeah, they know what happened that day, but like you said, we'll show them. We'll prove them wrong.
Let it alone. Fate has given it a second chance. A chance to forget the ignoble truth. A chance to defeat Zarok and live up to the legend. We hopes it does well.
Well, that second gargoyle's a bit nicer, but he still keeps calling us it. So yeah, basically throughout the whole game we're a laughing stock. The gargoyles make fun of us, the heroes make fun of us, like they know that we're not a hero, and they basically think we're a fraud. But this game is basically a redemption arc where we're proving everyone wrong that we actually can be a hero at the end of the day. So that's basically just like a training level. We just woke up in our crib, there's no enemies, but there's a load of books basically just telling us about, you know, what we have to do. You must be out of shape after 100 years, lying on your back, using the crypt to get to use the crypt to get use with your new lease of life. So yeah, basically it's just a way of like practicing the buttons, you know, just figuring out how to swing your sword. You find like what runes do, you find a light ball. When you're ready to leave this crypt, you'll find an exit at the end of the hall. To unlock the gates, you must find a rune stone and place it in the ornate hand set next to the doorway. So yeah, basically, I kind of prefer how the runes look in this to Resurrection. I like how it's just like a demonic looking hand that you just have to place a rune into. And we already get a life bottle before we even start our first level, so I like how we actually go into the graveyard with a life bottle at hand, because in Medieval 2 we don't even get our first life bottle until we defeat our first boss. So the Medieval 1's a bit more forgiving than Medieval 2. We don't have the daring dash from the start of the game though, but in this is the only game we can actually damage enemies with our daring dash in. Yeah, we got our first rune, and then we got our first shield. Let's read some books actually. Any treasure that you will find will go into your coin score. Displayed in the top right of your display. Coins are used to buy items from the greedy merchant gargoyles. Yeah, the merchant gargoyles don't talk in this game, but yeah, I think they make a sound in the Medieval remake, but this they just eerily stare at you while you purchase from them. I remember when I was younger, I always felt like one of them would eventually talk, but yeah, they don't. Oh, it doesn't say, feel free to have a paddle in the shallow water, but don't be tempted to go for a swim. Buoyancy could be a problem for those of a dead disposition. Yeah, you can paddle in shallow water, but yeah, you'll drown in deeper water. Is this going to be about the runes? Oh dear, no it's not. To do a power attack, press and hold the square button on your controller for a second or two and then release it. Yeah. I don't think that applies to all weapons. It doesn't apply to ones like the crossbow and that. In Resurrection it does. But, let's see. During your travels to Gallowmere, throughout the world of Gallowmere, you will collect many items. To look at your inventory, press select button on your controller. So we know this. There we go. All we have so far is a shield and a sword. But yeah, we're ready to leave Dan's Crypt now. We'll be coming back here later once we got the club, because there is a secret area in Dan's Crypt if you break down a wall to get another life bottle and some money. Track down Zarek by retracing the diabolical odyssey through Gallowmere. You can spot the exits from an area by looking for the sinking trail of magic slime. Yeah, Gargoyle tells us that in Resurrection. The Gargoyle tells us a hint from the graveyard at the moment too. Here we are with the classical map theme. We don't get the option. Well, we get the option to save there, but it doesn't automatically come up after Dance Crypt. Probably thinking like, you don't need to save after that. Here we are into the graveyard. A nice and easy first level. A level I quite often abuse if I'm playing it with my sister, because I know that she loses a lot of life balls some of the later levels. Quite often if we get to a point like the Gal's Gauntlet and Haunted Ruins and that, we quite often come back here a lot to refill our life balls, because it's a good first level. Because unlike Medieval 2, levels you return to later on, even after using up all the life fountains, replenish, like they are back again when you revisit the level. So if you ever need to refill some life balls, you can just keep revisiting here. But here we are. Nice easy first level, where most of the zombies will die in one charge swing of your small sword. We just got the zombies in this level. I get very nostalgic over how the zombies just look and sound in this game. The zombies sound different in each level though. Welcome back to your beloved Gallowmere. The stinking dead have risen up to dance with the lifeless living, and they want to do it all over your dead body. Yeah, that book is basically said as a gargoyle in Medieval Resurrection. Yeah, for some reason I used to find something pretty about the zombies with the purple trousers and the green top. They used to remind me of some kind of sweetie when I was younger. Then you get these skinny zombies. That skinny zombie you saw there, there's none of the ones in those like white clothing and the purple and green clothing in Return to Graveyard. It's only the skinny zombies and the headless ones. There we go. We got an Earth Rune, which is, funnily enough, placed here in the remake. Yeah, some of the placements of items in the remake is slightly different to the original. There we go. Yeah, I just remember that about Return to the Graveyard, that only these skinny zombies. There's another variant of them that's like in armor or something, but yeah, they're the only ones in Return to the Graveyard, as well as the ones that are headless, but none of these ones are in Return to the Graveyard. Oh, we lost a bit of health there. It's a lot quicker to kill them by just spamming X, but it does more damage if you hold down square. We got some money there, and then Chaos Rune. I do love the soundtrack to Medieval 1 though. It was so good because I know that apparently they didn't have access to an orchestra, everything was done with synths, but it just works so well. Like, I feel like this could be easily gone to the remake. If this part of the soundtrack, I always read my sister's going like, this is the best one, yeah! I don't know why, we just always say that to this part of the soundtrack. Remember, nothing remains hidden under the gates of an angel. Oh yeah, when I was younger, I was so stupid. It didn't dawn on me that this was an angel when I was a kid. I thought it was a bird. I was thinking, why do we have to have because I thought that was the bird's beak, the angel's hair. So I thought, like, why does the bird have to be facing away from the gate that's opening? For that reason, it doesn't. Also, when I was much younger, I actually didn't realize that facing the angel this way opened this gate over here. I didn't actually know you could get in this gate over here when I was younger. I can't seem to get my camera on it. Oh, there we go. But yeah, I used to always get this life bottle and money a different way until I realized you could actually just go through here because of the angel. So generally, this game will be a lot easier than Remake, because I know that like the bosses in that were made a lot more difficult in the Remake, which I'm glad they did, to be honest. There we go, we got our second life bottle before we're done our first level. Medieval 2 could not. Although we do get more life bottles in Medieval 2 overall, we just take a while to get our first one. There we go, our chalice is full. Some levels you can get the chalice full with lots of enemies remaining, and in other levels you have to kill practically all the enemies to fill it, where there'll only be like one enemy left before it's full. So sometimes it may seem like it's easier to fill the chalice in some levels than others. One chalice that can be easy to forget is the one from Pumpkin Gorge, because it's located pretty near the start of the level. Right, so it is possible to get the chalice here without even turning the angel to face the gate. Let's see if we can do it. No, we don't. No, but yeah, it didn't register my jump. That's okay. But you can actually time a jump there where you can jump right over that gate without having to even turn the angel around. The chalice is located here in the remake. The object here is the chalice. Every time you dispatch an enemy, the chalice fills a little more. Once the chalice is full, it is yours to collect, and you will be worthy of visiting the Sacred Hall of Heroes to claim a prize. There is a chalice to be found in every region of Gallowmere. They are all hidden or well guarded. Only a true hero will collect the full set, which we will. And it was a trophy in the remake to get all the chalices. I predicted that. I still have my predicted trophy list saved to my computer, which I think I shared a while ago on YouTube. I think I got a few dislikes, but hey-ho. The living world lies beyond the Skull Gate, which is the Glass Demon Gate in the Resurrection. The master of the Hilltop Mausoleum, the stained glass demon, has possession of the Skull Key. Yeah, we'll be there in 2 levels' time. I'll save just before any off chance it does crash, but it shouldn't do, I don't think, because I've got the patch installed on it. Oh yeah, these zombies only appear once you collect this gold. There we go. But we do want the gold, so there we go. They're no match for our small sword. Bring it on, zombies. Yeah, I used to find something eerie about how these gargoyles just don't say anything to you, but yeah, we don't want any throwing daggers. We'll think we'll first visit them when we actually get the crossbow. We'll visit the merchant gargoyle a lot more later on, but I don't really visit them much in early game. So the next level we have the same enemies. I don't think we have any of those skinny ones in Cemetery Hill, but the zombies sound a bit different after this level. The sound effects of the zombies in this level are in Medieval 2, I believe, but only from this level. But I do think it's kind of cool though how in each level the zombies are in, they sound different. Like the sound effects of them are different. They're not like repeated. I took a little bit of damage there, so we've actually not used any of our shield. We'll just get health up to full. Yeah, the rejuvenation fountains do fill you up very slowly in Medieval 1 compared to Medieval 2 and Medieval Resurrection. I love the sound effect paddling in the water, and even those little paddle particles I get nostalgic over. It's so interesting. I really want to play the beta on my YouTube channel now because there's so many cut levels that I didn't realise, more than just the Jabberwocky chase and the worm level. Yeah, let's just talk to this gargoyle.
Tread softly.
Tread
Zarek
softly.
awaits beyond these gates. The master meets with the demon from the mausoleum, hatching plots of purest evil. Forgotten nobodies would be wise
Rude.
to make themselves scarce.
Nobodies. I like how in the remake though, you actually can see the Hilltop Mausoleum from here, but you don't see it there in this version. It's pretty cool, you can see what lies ahead of that door, like Cemetery Hill and that. The first time you try to leave this level without a chalice, the game will warn you that you've not collected the chalice, which I don't mind when I'm doing my no chalice run. But I do like how this game has a Hall of Heroes, because it has a meaning behind collecting the chalices, because it's a chalice is like basically tied to the spirits of Hall of Heroes. And basically you drink out of it once you collect all the chalices as your reward. It's your rewarded cutscene. You have a like feast with the other heroes. But in Medieval 2, you just bring the chalice to the professor and he turns it into a weapon for you. But so yeah, I do kind of prefer the Hall of Heroes to what Medieval 2 did, but I do love Medieval 2 as a game. I'm just saying I think the Hall of Heroes concept's a bit better than just giving a chalice to the professor.
Hall of Heroes, where the bravest warriors from history spend eternity. Feasting, singing, and arm wrestling.
Singing
If
out
they
to
think you're
tune.
worthy enough, you may be able to persuade them to give you a new weapon.
Canny Tim doesn't seem that arsey. He's a bit passive aggressive at times, but him and Megwin are the only ones. Oh yeah, I think her name's Emanzi. I can't pronounce it, but the one that gives you the spear. They're the only ones that seem kind of nice to us, but all the other ones are pretty passive aggressive. Oh, wait, does that say Dan on the table? See if I can get my camera on it. Oh, it does! I don't think I've ever noticed that before. It's probably because it's been upscaled, I can see that, but it's probably harder to see that on the actual PS1. Let's talk to Canny Tim, who's apparently actually a girl, according to the comics.
Canny Tim. Does the battle go well?
Nowhere to go.
How I wish I could fight at your side again, sir. But hold, you could take my crossbow. It's got rapid fire and you can ricochet the darts off walls to shoot around corners. I used it at the Battle of Gallowmere. After you were slain, I shot Zarek's champion, Lord Kardok. A clean kill through the eye at some 1,000 yards.
I'll probably do 3 levels per part, because I feel like overall Medieval 1 levels are a lot shorter than Medieval 2.
Not that there's anything clever about shooting someone in the eye, sir.
Oh, goodbye, sir. Yeah, I do get very nostalgic for Medieval 1. My main memories of it is when I was like really depressed in high school and college, like, oh, horrible times in my life. I remember just after school, college, I would just go straight to my bed, like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. And then my sister would wake me up, saying, do you want to play Medieval for a bit? And I would just shit out of bed and play it with her. Like, I would just always jump at the chance to play Medieval with her. It was always the highlight of my day. There we go, first weapon, the crossbow. We'll have to play Cemetery Hill first before we return to Dan's Crypt, because we need at least a club to break down the wall. The club's the same as the hammer, only it breaks, but you can light things with it, unlike the hammer. So we've got our first prompt to save. I'll do it just on the off chance the emulator crashes. As you can see, I have played it on here before. I plan to redo my long play after I've done this walkthrough as well, alongside my parts. That sounds kind of wrong. Cemetery Hill, an excellent name for a blues singer. There's a little black bar at the side of the icon for Cemetery Hill, which you've seen in the files, but luckily it's since they filtered out. Here, that looks good. So this is our only encounter with Zarek before the end of the game, which is something I preferred about Resurrection, how he's involved more. I do love how he looks, but you don't see him until the end. Rest in peace, Paul Darrow, by the way.
My old enemy pursues me. You're too late, Fortescue. Already my army has risen from the grave. You will never leave this necropolis.
I love the old school magic side effect. All the side effects of that just give me such a static chills. Also, I noticed that the window at the top of the Hilltop Mausoleum is the same eyeball from a Time Device. Just have to notice that. Some obstructions can be smashed down with clubs and certain other weapons. Try experimenting. By certain other weapons, it just means the hammer. That's the only other weapon that can do it. I think you could do it by daring dashing into it. I'm not entirely sure though. I think you can daring dash. Yeah, you can use your daring dash to knock down walls too. There we go, we've got some more of these pink trousered and green topped zombies and the white clothed zombies, but they're the only ones in this one. But apart from the new headless ones that were in the previous level, we don't have any of the skinny ones in this level. But we have none of these zombies in the graveyard. We don't have to worry about those explosive chests hurting us in this one, because they don't hurt us in Medieval 1 and Medieval 2, but they do in Resurrection and the remake. Yeah, I love this level's music. Love the remade version of it in Gallowmere Plains as well. And you can light your club on furnaces like that as well, but we just need to light on that one. You can also put out fires as well, which be sure not to do if you're needing to light it or something. Yeah, we'll head up this way first. We'll only head partially up the hill. Don't go all the way up it right now if you want to get everything. Oof. If we were playing it on the PS4 right now, we need to get trophies. We'd have denied ourselves a trophy there because the trophy for going up that hill without getting hit. We've got the club now. We can afford to smack these guys with it before breaking down his boulders, and we should still have enough charge in it for breaking down the wall and dance Crypt. I'll use the sword for these coupled. I don't want to get too carried away. Yeah, I do wonder why, like, some of the levels, like, not all the zombies appear, because, like, yeah, the skinny ones aren't in this one, and the, in Return to Graveyard, none of those ones we've just been killing there are in that level. But they do still come out of coffins. None of them come out of coffins in Cemetery Hill, either.
Fresh air. We hate these dark old caves and their filthy stench of old witches. A coven of the warty old hags lived here once. Unholy fires burning all night while they brewed up unspeakable muck in their cauldrons. They moved on years back, but the smell still makes our eyes sting.
I can imagine. Jeez. Also, I used to always think this little outline on the wall next to the gargoyle looked a bit like a gargoyle, a bit like a deformed version of it. I always thought it looked a bit like a gargoyle. I'll use the sword for these two. Also, fun fact I found out recently from looking at the beta, but this area of Cemetery Hill was actually taken out of a level that was originally maybe called the Coffin Vaults and was used here instead. And I can actually imagine it being used in a level like the Coffin Vaults, because they do look a bit like Coffin Vaults, don't they? These windows here. But they ended up using it in this level instead. It's so weird to think like the things that were taken out of other levels and end up got put into different ones. There's a part in Haunted Ruins that was originally for another level too, I think, the Coffin Vaults. A guide to covens for witches and witchcraft enthusiasts. A witch's coven would reach the height of its power only when all of their sacred flames were alight. Witches have been known to offer help to the questing adventurer, yet they are a reclusive people and have to be summoned by the aid of a mystic charms and talismans. Yeah, the witch's talisman. Let it be known that the help from a witch is rarely given freely, and the witch will more often than not make a request of an adventurer before any such help is given. Well, that is true. If seeking to summon a witch, remember that they are quite territorial. Any signs of previous witch activity in the area is a good indication that the witch can be called upon. Yeah, so there's 2 levels where we'll find a witch. The Pumpkin Serpent and Enchanted Earth. But there is no Pumpkin Serpent in Mid-Resurrection. The Pumpkin Serpent is actually within Pumpkin Gorge. So yeah, we see the Pumpkin Witch in Pumpkin Gorge in Mid-Resurrection. I don't think the club actually burns down in this. It only does in Resurrection and the Japanese version. Yeah, like the club doesn't actually burn down a percentage while it's lit, I don't think. In any version but the Japanese version, I don't think. There we go, the chat's getting collected now, which is in here. So we'll just grab the talisman. It's so weird, I think this was originally meant to be part of a different level called the Coffin Vaults, which I only discovered recently. But it does sort of make sense. But yeah, this is actually a witch's coven, and that's why those gates lit up, because we had activated all of the fire layers in there, so it was at its full power, I suppose. But now we got the witch's talisman. We'll see. I actually know who voices the Forest Witch, Helen Lederer, because she's in a few comedies I've seen, like Absolutely Fabulous and Bottom. Of great archaeological interest, destroy the boulder and plunder to valuable treasures within. Oh yeah, we've already done that. We can't actually destroy any of these gravestones here, but there's a trophy in the remake for destroying 100 gravestones, which I thought was a pretty fun trophy. I'm proud to say that I platinumed it. Oh god, yeah, for some reason fire always makes my game lag on eBay XE, on any game. Oh. I wonder why that could be. I'll keep my shield up the whole time here. Right, the white boulders can be broken, the red ones are indestructible. And I do believe the white boulders will always jump over you here, but sometimes the red ones will go down the steps, so be wary of that. Yeah, as you can see there, the red ones went down the steps. And they behave the exact opposite in Mid-Resurrection. The ones that can be broken go down the steps, and the ones that can't be broken don't. Oh. Well, luckily we didn't fall to our death there, but we got knocked off the hill. Yeah, make good use of your shield going up that hill. It's a bit more forgiving than Resurrection here, because it gives you shields and money while you're going up the hill. Whereas you actually don't get anything going up the hill in Resurrection. I was only there in the first place because I wanted the money. If you stay up the steps enough, like the red boulder will go right over you. Oh, I got launched backward there when opening that chest. Those little boulders. Damn, I'm getting really unlucky here. I don't normally have this much trouble. But I was wanting to demonstrate here that you can actually break these boulders. The little small ones that are just lurking there. Let me see if I can show it now without dying. Yeah, you can destroy those too. Oh, there's a vial under it too. I actually forgot about that. Which we actually needed there after falling to our death. But I only died there because I wanted to demonstrate something. Oh. There we go. That's what I found under it. Nah, that's it. Yeah, I can't remember which ones actually had anything under it. No, but I completely forgot about that one there, having the vial under it. It's been a while since I've actually played Medieval 1 in its entirety and fully exploring it. We have failed the master.
We give our lives.
Their heads are a lot bigger in the remake. But yeah, a cool detail with the remake though is that all the voice lines of their characters have been directly ported from this game into it, with a bit more of an upscaled effect to it. The only character that they redid the voice lines for were Dan. The adventure would be wise to be thorough in explanation of the area, hidden locations, reap great rewards. Yeah, it is key that you fully explore in this game, because if you miss a key item before leaving a level, you might not be able to complete a level later on, which I learned the hard way as a kid on this game. So now that we have the club, we can go back to Dan's crypt. We'll speak to the gargoyle first though.
Back from the battle so soon? It must think it is a hero by now. But only a true hero is worthy of a place in the Hall of Heroes. See the ghostly statue of your fraudster self? When it has turned solid, a true hero you will be.
Condescending bitch. I remember I used to think it was, when I was younger, I remember when I actually first saw the statue turn solid and got all the chalices, it was so weird, because obviously like it took me years to actually ever complete the game. I remember I thought it was actually weird to finally see a statue turn solid. It's also pretty cool in the remake that like the more chalices you collect, the more chalices appear on the table, and you can like knock them all over. It's something I enjoy doing. But yeah, your last visit to a hero, you'll notice that they're lit up orange. But the only hero we visit more than twice is Raven, who's upstairs. We visit him 4 times. He gives us 3 longbows and a light ball. But yeah, we'll get another light ball here from Canny Tim.
Hurrah! I knew it would take more than an army of the evil dead to throw your strider. I've something that may help you on your quest, Captain. I give it to you freely, though I have no idea what it is.
Will you accept? No, not the bother. Imagine if you just said that. There we go. And we're about to go back to Dan's Crypt to get a 4th light ball. So we've got 4 light balls before we're even on our 3rd official level, which is just great. I do love how the game gives you quite a lot of healing items before you're even properly well into the game. But there's 9 in total, so they're a bit more spread out from this point onward. But I think technically you're not meant to really know about this light ball here right away. There's a secret one hidden in Dan's Crypt. And I'm just saving here in the off chance that the Hilltop Mausoleum won't work. But yeah, I'm certain it wouldn't even let me start the game on this emulator without installing the patch that allowed me to play the game in full. Because it has like copy protection on the European version where you can't play Hilltop Mausoleum on an emulator. And it wouldn't play on my PS2 either. It would sometimes load, but most of the time it would crash. And when it would load, it would often have like sound bugs on it for some reason. For some reason, Medieval 1 always had sound bugs in it for me on the PS2 when I played it on there. And some of the levels of Medieval 2 wouldn't load. And I remember in the Freak Show, the elephants were silent on the PS2. I don't know if any of you experienced the same bugs when you played the Medieval games on your PS2, but they had bugs for me. Here we go. Behind this wall is a secret light ball and 2 chests. I don't know who these murals are of. I'm assuming they're of Dan before he died, because that's his shield. Or it could be the shield of all of the Gallowmere soldiers. It's interesting. I'm assuming that is a mural of Dan, but there we go. We've got 4 light bottles now, ready to take on the Hilltop Mausoleum. I do know that Hilltop Mausoleum is one of my sister's favourite soundtracks from both the games. I know she loves this one and the Resurrection one. I do love them as well. Very eerie soundtrack, the original. I feel like the original one was a lot more eerie. I think the level itself looks a lot more eerie than the one in Resurrection, with like the little face on the floor and the murals on the walls. And the imps is where they first appear in this level. And they're in more than just this level in this game. They're in the they're not. They're in the Crystal Caves and the entrance hall, but they're not in Resurrection, so they only appear in this level in Resurrection. And the imps come back in the Freak Show. So let's just jump into Hilltop Mausoleum, a level that I went a long time without playing for a while when I was younger, when I had a PS2, because you couldn't play it. So it felt surreal to be able to play it again after a long time when I first played it, but it's a fun level. I like what they did to it in Resurrection, where you had to get more than one music piece for the organist to get the music to like pick up in tone. But it's the same soundtrack for all of this one, but I do love the soundtrack to the original as well. You're entering a house of pain. Rumors abound of evil doings in the secret catacombs below this Jerry Hall. Yeah, so we have to deal with I guess you could say trapped corridors. Once we collect the rune and the music sheet, the floors will start collapsing. Sorry if the music, sorry if this part's very loud compared to me. Yeah, the imps just sound very noisy. Oh, wait, I'm not going to collect that club yet. I'm just going to open it. I will collect it later when this one breaks. So obviously this is like it's called it was originally meant to be called the Desecrated Church, but they changed it to Hilltop Mausoleum in the final product. As you can see, some of these pews have fallen over. And some of these, I don't even know what you call these, coffins? I think they're coffins, I don't know what you call them. Coffin vaults. Some of them have imps jumping out of them, but some of them have treasure under them. And all the years of playing it, I still haven't exactly memorized which ones do have items under them, but some of them do have items under them. I think this one has one, yeah. Energy vial. Oh, we didn't need one. But yeah, the one that has light beaming out from under it is obviously the one that you have to go down, because it leads to the catacombs. I'll use a sword here. I don't want to use up all my club right away. Watch out for sticky-fingered imps. These thieves will strip you down to your armored undead. Oh, yeah. Be careful particularly with the sticky fingered imps in this one compared to Resurrection. Because in Resurrection, they just bring it to like a hidden room where you can just easily get it back with a wall. But in this, if they steal your weapon, you'll have to spend lots of coins to buy it back, which is hugely detrimental, especially if it's a weapon you really need for like a certain level. Because you have to like spend a lot of time trying to get enough coins to buy back a weapon. So yeah, whatever you do, do not let the sticky fingered imps get away with your weapon. Be very swift in killing them. Luckily, it's been a long time since that's happened to me on this game. I remember when I was younger, there was a couple of times where they actually did successfully get away with my weapon, but like the past few years I've played this game, that's never happened to me. There we go. Before I start running away, I'm just making sure that the imps are spawned there. Yeah, if you grab everything too quick there and run out before killing all the imps, sometimes you can rob yourself out of getting the chalice. So, I'll be sure when I get to the next room that all the imps are out before I collect the needed sheep, because yeah, if you run out of that room too soon before killing the imps, not all the imps will spawn from the area, and you might actually rob yourself out of getting the chalice, but hopefully I've not done that to myself just now. There we go, we've got the rune key, and there's a stick finger up here that we'll just quickly bash before he could do anything, because yeah, he's the only one there. And in Medieval Resurrection, at least in the original one, when I played it on my PSP, you can actually jump back up this pathway. But I noticed on the port to PS5 you couldn't do that. But yeah, the design of this level in Medieval Resurrection is practically identical. But I do love this level soundtrack, it is a bob. It's such a perfect game for Halloween. Very Tim Burton-esque. I feel like Resurrection was more so like Nightmare Before Christmas, but I do know that this was inspired by Tim Burton. The stained glass demon is the master of the mausoleum. His wretched soul lies preserved inside a frozen glass heart, shrouded in a veil of darkness beneath the mausoleum. You will find this pre-frozen menace. There we go. I had the sticky fingered imp over here, but there we go. I'm actually killed before you can do anything. So that is all the sticky fingered imps to deal with. We don't have to worry about our weapons getting stolen anymore. But we do see the sticky fingered imps again and the entrance halls. So yeah, we're not quite done with them yet. We'll just grab this real quick. Do we actually need any more crossbow arrows for the glass demon? How many does it give us by default? Oh yeah, that's more than enough for the glass demon. Yeah, so we don't need to buy anything yet. And since our club broke, we'll get a brand new one here. I actually do like those PS1 effects of the rays beaming through the windows. I don't know why I see it actually reflected off the floor. I feel like for its time those effects look pretty good. Probably seems very simplistic to people, but even like those fire effects I think look pretty good for its time. Because I know so many things were 2D. The PS1 and very badly rendered. There we go. I think in the remake and Resurrection you can just destroy these with the sword, but I think it has to be with a club. Here. We can test to see if we can do it with a sword, but I'm pretty sure you have to do it with a club. Yeah, there we go. You can just jump over them if you want to. You might have to break a few of those ones, it's got quite a big gap to jump across, but you can, if you've got a safe club, you can jump across most of them. But yeah, I remember those demonic murals on the walls used to be quite scary to me when I was younger. But I remember like the first time I played Hilltop Mausoleum in years, it felt weird because like I couldn't get past it for years just because the game would always crash on that level. Okay, good, we didn't rob ourselves out of getting the chalice, that's good. But yeah, if you get through the part too quickly before the imps actually spawn, you do deny yourself a few enemy kills, which will deny you some chalice percentage. But luckily we didn't do that here. Yeah, you do have to get out there relatively fast, but it is kind of forgiving with the time it gives you. It's a lot more forgiving in Resurrection. For some reason I always have a memory when I was younger of a dream I had, where Dan and Kia and Professor went back in time Medieval 2 and they were back to Hilltop Mausoleum level, and it was funny like because Dan knew what to expect but Kia and Professor didn't, and it was funny just seeing the Kia and like the Professor just like running down the corridor, and then like the Professor like running out of breath saying like, I can't keep up, Dan, go without me. But like I don't know, I just have a memory of that when I was younger, of like Dan like running, not Dan, I mean of the Professor running along the collapsible floor. Right, we can actually wake up the demon here before getting the chalice, but be careful you don't run into the center of the room before doing so, because unlike the remake and Resurrection, once you've awakened the glass demon, there's no going back for anything you've missed. You've like locked yourself out of being able to collect the chalice or anything from the rest of the level, so you'd have to redo it again. I love the sound effect of the heart beating in this game. There we go. And I think what's there? It's just a shield. Yeah, we're already full of shield right now, so we don't need that one. So we'll just quickly switch to our crossbow, making sure not to run into the center of the room, because like I was saying, it'll lock us out of being able to get our chalice from the Phantom of the Opera. I just call him Phantom of the Opera. I don't know if that's officially what it's called. We just run around the edge of the room so that we don't awaken the demon. And we should be just fine. Don't think we need vials either. There we go. Yeah, I get very nostalgic over his side effects there. I noticed his chest is like a heart shape. His head isn't even connected to his body. But there we go. Now we can initiate the boss fight. I do love the OG boss theme. It does definitely, it gives you like a very adrenaline feel in the original boss theme. I remember when I was younger, it used to be so intense hearing it during a boss fight. Oh, you do see the image there just slightly jolt before he spawns. Yeah, he's a relatively easy boss fight, I remember. Like, because you can get it done pretty quick here. Yeah, we'll just take those extra shield and we'll take extra damage to ourselves just to get as many hits as possible. There we go. Look at my damage we did to him with his first attack. And then we should be able to kill him the next time he shows his heart. They made him a bit more challenging in Resurrection and the remake. Well, obviously it would have been our first boss. Like, he's not really meant to be that challenging. He's our first boss. But I remember my sister said for our first boss, it's actually kind of a shame that like he dies so easily, because he looks like he'd be such an intimidating boss, the Glass Demon, don't you think, for like a first boss. Like, he does look so cool. Like, even in Gift 1, I think he looks like a cool boss. Like how he looks in Remake as well. And I actually like how he looks in Resurrection too, but yeah, I think he still holds up well now. He looks great on the PS1. But there we go. We got our skull key, but we don't use it in the graveyard level. We actually, there's a separate level entirely called Return to the Graveyard that we use it in. You could try using it in the graveyard, but you'll be trying a long time. But I'm probably going to record more parts just now, but I'm going to wrap up this one after we get this weapon from the Hall of Heroes. I've thoroughly enjoyed this first part for you. It was really fun. Got another dialogue from the gargoyle here.
It's the Hall of Heroes shopping mall. Bargain hunters should check out the ground floor. Well-to-do shoppers should check out the upper floor. That's
where it's at. Right, so now we get our hammer. Yeah, Medieval Resurrection, you get the hammer before Hilltop Mausoleum, but now we get it after. And we can actually carry it with a shield in the original, which is great.
Fortescue, what's this I hear about that archcad Zarok still being alive? Thought you killed the fella.
You killed the fella.
Never mind, you old warhorse. Better show him what's what, eh? I expect Johnny's zombies a bit more of a handful than you remember. How are you doing for weapons?
How are you doing for weapons, old man?
Here, take my warhammer. It'll smash anything and it won't fall apart like a club. I only ever get to use it cracking walnuts around this place.
Yeah, fun fact about... Oh, I'll say actually after this.
Nonsense, Fortescue. I won't take no for an answer. Knock a few heads for old Stan your iron hewer, eh?
Stan your iron hewer, yeah, that's his name. I do know the name of most of the heroes, but I just don't know how to pronounce the Spear Ladies one. But it's Imanzi is how I say it. But fun fact about Dan's voice, it's either Chris Thorell or Jason Wilson. I always forget which one of them it does it, but they voice Dan with a bucket over his head for like extra effect of like his mumbling and his jawless sound. But it's pretty funny how like he only really has like 5 or 6 lines throughout the whole game that are repeated and used at different times, but he's got one that's like different each time. There's one where he says it fell off about his jaw, and that's the only time that's used in the game. And there's one where he says, "Grumble, grumble, what have you done to me?" to the Forest Witch. But for the most part, a lot of his dialogue's like reused, but it's done in a funny way, in my opinion. Like, I think it's funny how his dialogue's reused a lot throughout the whole game. But there we go. That's us done. Dan's Crypt, the Graveyard, Cemetery Hill, and Hilltop Mausoleum. That's quite a lot of progress for one day. For that reason, I'm going to be doing more in just a second after I've recorded this part. Yes, I love you all so much. If you like what you've seen here, please check me out on Discord. My links will be down below if it's up to date. If the links expire down below, the official one will be on my About page. But I also have a Twitch that I'll stream on whenever I feel like it, which I'll sometimes will stream on here, but I mostly will be streaming on Twitch. But yeah, all my links are down below. I love you all so much, and I'll catch you in the next part. We'll be playing Return to Graveyard, Scarecrow Fields, Pumpkin Gorge, and Pumpkin Serpent. I'll see you guys later. Take care.